Namaskar, good morning. My name is Preeti Dahiya, and it is an honor to extend a warm welcome to each one of you for the 17th edition of the NCPEDP-Mphasis Universal Design Awards 2026. Held every year on the eve of our Independence Day, this ceremony is a reminder that the ideals of freedom, equality, and independence must extend to every citizen of this country, including persons with disabilities. This year's edition holds particular significance. 2026 marks 10 years of the Rights of Persons with Disabilities Act 2016, a law that widened the recognition of disability in India, placed accessibility, reasonable accommodation, and non-discrimination on a statutory footing, and defined clear obligations for the state, for institutions, and for employers. A decade on, this is an occasion to reflect on what the law has made possible, to acknowledge the distance that remains, and to recognize the individuals and organizations whose work has given that legislation meaning in everyday life. First of all, we are honored to be joined today by an esteemed gathering of dignitaries. We'd like to extend a warm welcome to Shri Arvind Kumar, Director General, Software Technology Parks of India, as our guest of honor. Welcome, sir. Can we please have a round of applause? Thank you. Ms. Deepa Nagraj, Senior Vice President and Global Head, ESG, Sparkle Innovation Ecosystem and Communications Emphasis. Welcome, ma'am. Mr. Pradeep Gupta, Chairperson, NCPEDP and Chairman, Cyber Media Group. Also, Mr. Arman Ali, Executive Director at NCPEDP. Thank you so much. So, we will begin the morning with a short film on the Universal Design Awards and the movement behind them. Let's take a look at the video.
A decade ago, India made a promise of equality, dignity, and rights.
Day of the winter session, the Lok Sabha passed the Rights of the Persons with Disabilities Bill within 2 hours after a short debate.
With the passing of the Rights of Persons with Disabilities Act 2016, the way we looked at disability began to change.
I've been saying this for a very long time that this new law, the Rights of Persons with Disabilities Act, is a game changer. I would say the underlying principle that governs the new law is the principle of no discrimination. The law categorically says that every High Court will designate a Sessions Court in every district of India as a disability court or a court which will take up disability case. And you have a very, very rock solid law.
The question was no longer only about what a person could or could not do, but about what our systems were failing to accommodate. 10 years on, that law is finding its way into everyday life.
The RPD Act, the act that empowers persons with disability to enjoy the right to equality and life with dignity.
From the national education policy bringing disability inclusion into education, to accessible elections where every vote counts, from the rollout of the UDID card to inclusive health insurance frameworks, we see it in the harmonized guidelines reshaping our public spaces. We see it in the digital world, where access to information and services is now central to everyday life. And in 2024, the historic Supreme Court ruling gave this vision constitutional weight by recognizing accessibility as a fundamental right. NCPEDP has stood at the forefront of advocacy, from advocating for disability inclusion in the census to driving youth leadership, advocating for inclusive healthcare, supporting assistive technology, advancing accessible election, and engaging with parliamentarians. The guiding principle has always been for NCPEDP and Mphasis, the commitment to accessibility and universal design began much before this moment. Since 2010, the NCPEDP-Mphasis Universal Design Awards have recognized people and institutions working to build accessibility into products, spaces, services, technologies, and policies. They show us that accessibility is not only about compliance, it is about dignity, it is about independence, it is about participation, and it is about better design for everyone.
This was my first time that I have been a jury member in the NCPEDP-Mphasis Universal Design Award. It was a pleasurable experience. I got many things to learn. My participation as a jury member exposed me to the many applications that technology is doing in the accessibility domain.
We've been, as a chair of the jury with illustrious jury members, we've been deliberating since morning. We see companies like Mphasis coming back year after year supporting these awards.
It was great to be part of the jury for companies and organizations with the space where disability concerns are there. I think it's expanding across geography and across different types of disabilities.
I'm here at the NCPEDP Design Award jury selection round this morning. What a fantastic day it has been. I've been participating in these juries rounds for many years now, but the quality of nominees this time really blew my mind.
But it will also be nice because you have done something that is also parallelly perhaps happening with the government.
The Universal Design and Access Awards is, I think, an extremely important way that we not just validate, acknowledge very pioneering and innovative efforts in the space of disability. And hopefully the awardees not just get motivated and inspired to do more.
When inclusion is built into design from the start, it creates better systems for everyone. Welcome to the 17th NCPEDP-Mphasis Universal Design Awards 2026.
Right, so once again, welcome to the 17th NCPEDP-Mphasis Universal Design Awards 2026. And to formally commence today's proceedings, I would like to invite Mr. Arman Ali, Executive Director, NCPEDP, to please deliver the welcome address.
Good morning, everyone. And I prepare a lot before this welcome address every year, and I forget the moment I get on the stage. There's so much emotion that comes to your head when you look at Javed Bhai on the screen, when you look at the history of NCPEDP and Mphasis partnership, and the star full of the room full of stars who have made this difference every day in people's with disability life. All the awardees who are present here for this 17th NCPEDP-Mphasis Universal Design Award 2026. Ladies and gentlemen, I would extend a very warm welcome to each one of you. All the awardees who have been selected for this year, and all those who applied, who believed in inclusion. And I think we keep saying this every year, that this Universal Design Award is not an award. It is one way where we are trying to connect people who are working to bring inclusion of people with disability as a core principle in whatever they do. Whether it is law and policy, whether it is product and services or technology. And it is not about one particular disability, it's about everyone who have a visible or invisible disability. The idea of holding this award on the eve of Independence Day was said by Javed Bhai, Javed Abidi, and we believed at NCPEDP that the freedom is a collective thing. Either all of us are free or none of us are. So people with disability to have the freedom to move from one place to another, to access information on an equal basis with others, to be part of an education system on an equal basis, not an afterthought. Disabled people cannot remain a number which is a beneficiary. So this is, and I have no biases, by the way, but all categories of the award that we have today, one category is only specific for people with disability. And the kind of work and the change they bring onto this country and the world And people often use this expression of saying that in spite of their disability. I say, and at NCPEDP we say it is because of their disability they're able to do this, and they'll continue to do this in the future and make this country really inclusive. So with these words, I would like to extend a very warm welcome to each one of you, and congratulations to all the awardees this year. Thank you so much. Over to you, Preeti.
Thank you so much, Arman. Now, I'm going to invite Ms. Deepa Nagraj, Senior Vice President and Head, Sparkle Innovation Ecosystem and Communications Emphasis, to deliver the keynote address. The Universal Design Awards have been made possible over the years through the sustained partnership between NCPEDP and Mphasis, and it is a privilege to have Ms. Nagraj with us this morning. Can we please welcome her with a round of applause?
Thank you again, everybody, for braving the August 14th traffic and coming here every single year. Really appreciate it. You know, rain or shine, I think NCPEDP will always host this design award on the 14th, and all of us will turn up. Thank you again. Like Arman said, we always have content that is prepared for this. We have slides that we use, but we probably end up not using it, right? But one of the things that I want to talk about, and you know, our journey of why we are doing what we're doing and why we're doing consistently, right? If there's one thing that I'd like for each of you to take back today, is this is a journey. We celebrate small successes and milestones, and we're doing this consistently year on year. And this is not something that is going to change overnight. Simply because of the scale that we have in India, our lived realities, and also the gap that is there between urban infrastructure, the various different laws, rules, policies, everything else that comes up in between as well. So when we started the journey, this is what we saw as the landscape, right? At Mphasis, anything that we do, we use something called the theory of change, which is, what is the need of the hour in the country? Who is the best partner who can execute to this? And what can Mphasis as an organization support with, right? Beyond providing funds, beyond just monetary support, right? Can we help with people, with technology, with ideas that can triangulate and make a better impact? And the numbers speak for themselves, right? I don't have to kind of explain this to you. You can see that there is a need for it. And we said, while we're a technology company, can technology then be the leveler to be able to bring some of this change and accelerate the pace of change? Because then you have a format, you have a method to it, and therefore over the years, you'll see the various different things that we've done. Again, you would have seen some of the NCPEDP content that's come out, the white papers to say what happens for people with disabilities, what is the gap that we're looking to fill? What's the current policy? And I'd invite each of you to contribute to this as well. If you're seeing a policy gap, right, how can we plug that? And this is the only organization that is supporting with policy and advocacy. And Mphasis is very proud to support their journey in policy advocacy consistently. Right? We've defined the core problems. And this is probably one of my favorite slides, right? To say that the assistive technology market is about 10 billion by 2030. So while for us it could be philanthropic, for other people it's actually a very viable commercial model. So if we could encourage startups, upstarts, larger organizations to be able to invest in assistive technologies and design for people with disabilities, this is an extremely good model. And there are many times that you don't have to reinvent the wheel. There are organizations that have already done this globally. Our role could probably, how can you replicate it or be able to customize it for our geography, which is different from the others. Right? The market opportunity, which we don't sometimes think about, and we think about it as CSR, is something that we could all revisit. Right? And again, I don't have to preach to the choir. There are a bunch of different things that we could do. Right. So along with the NCPEDP in the past 16 years that we've partnered, we've been able to bring in design element into everything that we do, and we've also been able to incorporate some of this into our daily lives. Right. The first policy was for access to public spaces. Again, things that have become hygiene right now. And also something as basic as access to commercial buildings, right? What is the design for it? If there is a technology product, what is the design element for that? It's some of the things that have become everyday. I've actually had a very difficult journey getting here. And I was just telling someone this morning, insurance for people with disabilities, again, seems like a no-brainer. Every country in the world has it but for us. And Arman and team have been consistently working on this for year after year. And we're seeing small changes, and those small changes are big successes for us. Right. So the opportunity here is for you to come and tell us what is it that we could work differently. Take some of these design concepts, some of these successes, and then talk about it so that it becomes, everybody is aware of it. Most times we realize that this is educational, and the gap is not knowing what we don't know. And if we are able to plug that, that itself is half the thing done. Right? I can also see some of our past winners here who've come up, who've specifically worked around autism spectrum, something that was never recognized in India. We're probably the only country that never even looked at autism as a spectrum and put people or children in various different stages. And we've achieved it over the years. Right? So again, congratulations to the past winners. Over the next few hours, you will see how some of the folks who've gotten recognized in the past few years have been even more successful, leveraging this as a launchpad and as a springboard for success. You'd also meet some of the winners for this year. And like the others have said, the jury has just become tougher every year. We're getting fantastic organizations, individuals applying for it. And yesterday, Asifa was kind enough to invite me to an event which I didn't know existed, right? It was the Vyapari Mahotsav, which was at the Bharat Mandapam. And this is a traders and livelihood forum, if I may say so. It's like a trade show with multiple stalls, people selling fancy things, and NCPEDP had a stall there talking about both creating livelihood for people with disabilities and also making this inclusive. I thought it was a fantastic way to not just look at technology. Most times when we are in urban settings, we're looking at it more as an urbanized issue. And the people who were there in the panel were mostly from either tribal background or from tier 2, tier 3 cities and backward regions. And they were sitting in the panel to discover what they can do differently. There was this child who was sitting in the first row on a pram, must have been 2 or 3 years old, and with autism. This is the happiest audience I've ever known, right? It was smiling and waving at me throughout, right? I'm like, and the parents are there to see what else they can do for the child. Things that the audience that you never otherwise reach. Right? So, again, fantastic initiative by NCPEDP to be able to go there and figure this out. Again, thank you again for being consistent and putting this together. And again, congratulations to all the winners. Welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, Deepa. Well, ladies and gentlemen, with that, it's time for us to start with the award ceremony. And we will begin with the category of role model persons with disabilities. This category recognizes persons with disabilities who have advanced accessibility, universal design, and disability rights through their own leadership and whose work has created access for others. This year, we present 4 awards in this category. And now I'm going to start with the name of the first awardee, and that is Mr. Nilesh Singhit, a disability rights advocate and distinguished research fellow at Nalsar University of Law, whose work on access audits, accessibility guidelines, and rights-based advocacy has shaped public transport and public policy in India. Let's take a look at the video. Okay, and to give away awards in this category, I'm going to invite some of our dignitaries on the stage, beginning with Ms. Debolina Kundu, Executive Director at NIUA. Ma'am, can we please have you on stage? Ms. Deepa Nagraj, once again, I'll request you to please join us on the stage. Mr. Pradeep Gupta, Mr. Sunil Pahilajani, and Mr. A.S. Narayanan. I'll request all 5 of you to please join us on the stage as we begin giving awards in this category. So can we play a film for Mr. Nilesh Singhit? Okay, all right. So we'll begin with the award straight away. Mr. Nilesh Singhit, once again, I'll say that, to introduce him to all our audience, a disability rights advocate and a distinguished research fellow at Nalsar University Law, whose work on access audits, accessibility guidelines, and rights-based advocacy has shaped public transport and public policy in India. The first award in the category. Can we please have a big round of applause? Please bring the awards. Thank you so much. Thank you and congratulations, Mr. Nilesh Singhit. Okay, so our next awardee in this category is Dr. Rupinder Kaur, an Ayurvedic medical officer with the National Health Mission Punjab and a polio survivor whose public health work has reached over 1 lakh patients and who this year became the first Indian wheelchair user to reach Everest Base Camp.
I am Dr. Dr. Rupinder Kaur, an Ayurvedic medical officer serving under the National Health Mission Punjab with over 17 years of experience in rural healthcare. My journey has been from crawling on the floor during childhood to becoming the first wheelchair user from India to reach Everest Base Camp. Serving in the rural communities, we provide OPD Ayurveda services, preventive healthcare, immunization, pulse polio campaigns, and outreach services in the villages, break lanes, and underserved communities, ensuring that quality healthcare reaches those who need it most. The impact of this work is reflected in the trust of the people I serve. Families who once missed immunization sessions now return with their children's vaccination cards, asking for the next new session and encouraging others to protect their children. With the support of Tinkesh Stability Foundation, I completed the Everest Base Camp expedition and experienced inclusive adventure activities like jet skiing and parasailing, proving that disability does not limit potential, inaccessibility does. Honor for me to receive this award from NCPEDP organizations. I am thankful to all the jury members. I dedicate this recognition to my family, to my patients, to my colleagues, and everyone. Thank you.
Can we please get the award for Dr. Rupinder Kaur? Congratulations, Dr. Rupinder Kaur, once again. Thank you so much for joining us here this morning. Okay, with that, it's my honor to announce our third awardee in this category, and that is Ms. Charu Narang, founder of Deaf Women Too, a platform that has built a community of over 70,000 members across South Asia, working on rights, health, safety, and leadership for deaf women.
Namaskar, my name is Charu Narang, founder of Deaf Women 2 DWT. At DWT, we are committed to empowering deaf women through feminism, leadership, and independence. The strength of DWT is creating accessible and inclusive spaces through social media campaigns, workshops, awareness initiatives, and empowerment programs for all. Thank you to everyone who has supported DWT's journey. Around the world, deaf women face unique experiences of exclusion, yet every deaf woman deserves to be included as we build a community united through our shared womanhood. We are deeply honored to receive this award and proud of all we have achieved together through our team's tireless efforts. This award inspires us to continue our mission with even greater commitment. Thank you.
Please get the awards. Thank you, Charuji, and congratulations. Well, our final awardee, the fourth awardee in this category, is Mr. Rahul Hirji Gala, a deaf financial professional making investment guidance and financial literacy accessible in Indian Sign Language and the founder of Deaf OTT, a sign language first digital platform for deaf users.
Namaste, my name is Rahul Gala and this is my sign name. I am based in Thane, Mumbai. Over the past few years, I have focused on Gala Financial Services because I want to create financial awareness, especially for deaf community. My goal is to help deaf people understand financial matters more deeply, avoid common investment mistake, identify scam, and know whether an investment product is regulated by government or not. I want to empower the deaf community. So far, around 6,000 deaf people have gained financial knowledge through this initiative. I have also provided guidance on mutual funds, insurance, and other financial services, including how to access them. I am working with IncluSign Innovation. The company's mission is to improve accessibility by reducing the barriers created by spoken language through sign language video translation for Deaf OTT and other platforms. Our goal is to help deaf community grow in barrier-free environment and provide meaningful accessibility solution. Receiving this award is very special. It makes me feel truly appreciated. This award does not belong to me. It belongs to the entire deaf community. If the deaf community continues to receive better accessibilities and more opportunities, thank you.
Can you please get the award and certificate for Rahul Gala? Invite Mr. Rahul Gala to say a few words on behalf of this category. We'll have the mic handed over to our interpreter for this.
Good afternoon, everyone. It is a great honor to stand here, speak behalf of my fellows awardee in the role of model with person with disability category. Our experiences are different, our challenges are different, and our journeys are different. But we share something, the determination to create a change and contribute to the society. And I sincerely thank NCPEDP-Mphasis, the jury, and everyone behind of this award to recognizing our work and our journey. And also I thanks to my family, friends who have supported to our journey, and thanks a lot to them. I want to say disability should not mean sympathy or charity. It means dignity, accessibility, equal opportunity, independence, living. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you so much, Rahul, and congratulations once again to all the awardees in our category. With that, we are going to move on to our next category this morning, and that is Role Model Working Professionals. For that, I'm going to request Ms. Debolina Kundu, Ms. Deepa Nagraj, and Mr. Pradeep Gupta to please stay with us on the stage. And Manikantan sir and Chetan Kapoor sir will join us. But Sunil ji and A.S. Narayan sir, thank you so much for joining us. Please join us in the audience. Can I call on stage Mr. Chetan Kapoor and Mr. Manikantan T for the next category of awards? So like I said, our next category of awards is Role Model Working Professionals. This category recognizes professionals who have embedded accessibility, and universal design within their fields of work in law, in technology, in education, and in employment, and whose practice has changed how institutions function. This year, we present 3 awards in this category, and I'll begin with the name of the first awardee, Ms. Lahiri from Bengaluru in Karnataka, co-founder and head of inclusive hiring at Atypical Advantage, who has led the placement of more than 410 persons with disabilities across 15 manufacturing plants with accessibility audits and workplace preparation built into the process.
Hi everybody. Atypical Advantage is India's largest livelihood platform that works towards creating dignified livelihood for people with disabilities. Till date, we have worked with 500 plus corporates and impacted 5,000 plus lives. I head the inclusive hiring vertical that looks at creating employment opportunities across blue collar and white collar space. One of our flagship programs is the Deaf in Manufacturing that looks at deaf inclusion in plants across the country. We have placed 250 plus people across 18 plus plants in India as of today. One of the biggest barriers and the roadblocks that we face is to help organizations understand how a simple step towards inclusion can bring such a big cultural difference in their own organizations. Winning this award is such an amazing feeling. This is a testament to all the hard work and all the dedication with which our team works day in and day out to create impact. We have miles to go, but this is nothing less of a motivation for us to keep striving harder and to keep working towards creating better opportunities and better livelihood for all. Thank you so much for this recognition.
Can we please get the award and certificate for Ms. Lahiri? Thank you for joining us this morning. Congratulations. Thank you and many congratulations again. Let's now invite our next awardee in the Role Model Working Professionals category, and that is Dr. Piyush Chanana, an assistive technology innovator at the National Center for Assistive Health Technologies, IIT Delhi, whose work on smart cane, tactile books, and STEM kits has reached over 10,000 educators, trainers, and users across 20 states.
I'm Piyush Channa from the National Center for Assistive Health Technologies, Assistic Lab at IIT Delhi. At NCAT, we have been advancing an enduring national effort to fundamentally transform how persons with visual impairment live, learn, and move. Over the last 15 years, I have worked across multiple innovations, product development, research, and ecosystem building, and I primarily drive solution design and often serve as the linchpin. With our collective perseverance, solutions like Smart Cane have reached more than 1 lakh users in more than 15 countries, and tactile STEM content has supported thousands of students in India. Receiving this award is deeply meaningful because it reflects a journey built on collective vision, strong mentorship, and the unwavering dedication of our team. I am grateful to play this connecting role in this ecosystem and remain committed to carrying this work forward.
Dr. Piyush Chanana, request you to please join us on stage, and we are getting the award and certificate for our awardee. Can we please extend a bigger round of applause? Congratulations, Dr. Piyush. Thank you for joining us this morning. And our third awardee in this category is Ms. Jaina Kothari, Senior Advocate, Supreme Court of India and Executive Director, Center for Law and Policy Research, who has litigated close to 200 disability rights cases, including the 2026 ruling extending the RPD Act to private educational institutions.
Hi everyone, I'm Jaina Kothari. I'm a senior counsel practicing in the Supreme Court, and I also head the Center for Law and Policy Research. For the last 15 to 20 years, I've been representing people with disabilities in the High Courts and the Supreme Court, and have been able to really push the opportunity for expansion of disability rights in the courts, get judgments confirming disability rights, and many of my clients or petitioners have been able to get access to employment, equal opportunities, and access in their places of work and other areas of public life through many of these cases. This work has led not only to important landmark judgments by the Supreme Court, which have led to expansion of disability rights in the country, but it has also led to a wide-ranging awareness on disability law, which my organization, SLAPIA, has been able to do. Now, I'm really grateful for this wonderful award that I've been selected for. The NCPEDP-Mphasis Universal Design Awards is really a great honor, because these institutions are really the foremost institutions in the country working on disability rights. So I'm really grateful and honored to be selected for this award.
Please join us on stage, ma'am. Let's get the award and certificate for Ms. Jaina. Congratulations once again, ma'am. And I will also request you to stay with us on stage, Ms. Jaina Kothari, to say a few words on behalf of this category. In the meantime, I'd also like to inform you, ladies and gentlemen, that our guest of honor, Shri Arvind Kumar, Director General, Software Technology Parks of India, has joined us. Thank you, sir. We'll extend a formal welcome, but a big round of applause as we welcome him. And before that, a speech from Jaina on this category.
Thank you, everyone. On behalf of all my fellow awardees, I'm really honored to be selected for the award of Role Model Working Professionals. Not only am I in the company of some brilliant people, all my fellow awardees who have worked on disability rights, but it's very special because the award is given by NCPEDP and Mphasis, which are both organizations that have done incredible work on disability rights in India. Working on disability law, both in court, representing people and organizations on disability rights issues, and working in the field on legal awareness on the law was never something that I set out to do or planned to do. It is something that I stumbled upon around 15, 20 years ago with my first case representing teachers who were excluded from applying for government jobs on account of their visual disability. We challenged this petition, won, and the fight went all the way up to the Supreme Court. And this really started my personal journey of taking up disability rights through the courts. While many of the cases that I took up, especially on cases relating to equal opportunities in public employment, led to successes for the petitioners and also expansion of the law. But for me, it has been really an understanding of what equality truly means. I think my cases and my clients taught me that equality is not really about ensuring that just everyone is treated alike, but the real test
is whether it enables people to be truly considered, seen, and included for who they really are, irrespective of their disability, gender, or caste, or any other category, and that they are all given the accommodation that is needed in order to be included. It's expanded my own understanding of equality, what it should truly mean under our Constitution as a fundamental right, and that it has to be made a reality for everyone in this country. So I think my work in the field of disability law, working with people with disabilities and organizations fighting for basic rights and challenging the law, challenging government actions, challenging stereotypes that are present in our law, has been nothing short of life-changing for me. I thank all of them who took part on this journey with me in my work. I'd like to thank my dear friend Nirmita Narsimhan, who nominated me for this award and who's such a stalwart on disability rights herself. I'd like to thank my organization, the Center for Law and Policy Research, and my colleagues and my team who've worked with me. And finally, I'm truly honored to be given this award. I think it's only going to recharge me and energize me on working on disability rights. Thank you.
Thank you, and congratulations once again. Congratulations, in fact, to all our awardees in the category. And before we proceed to our next category of awards, I'd like to thank Ms. Debolina Kundu and Mr. Manikantan T for joining us on the stage for this round. Thank you, and can you please join us in audience now, as I would like to invite on stage Mr. Mayank Verma from Mphasis for the next category of awards, and Dr. Anmol Ahluwalia, General Manager, Taj Group. Thank you, sir, for being with us this afternoon. Can you please join us on the stage as we proceed to the next category of awards? Okay. And since our guest of honor, Shri Arvind Kumar, has also joined us, we would also like you, sir, to please join us on the stage before we proceed towards the next category of awards. We are just quickly arranging for another chair here. Okay. Thank you, ma'am. So Deepa ma'am is joining us in the audience, and Arvind Kumarji is here with us on the stage. Right. So the next category that we are going to announce awardees for is the role model companies and organizations. From institutions established decades ago to enterprises building for scale today, this category recognizes organizations that have made accessibility and universal design part of how they are designed to operate. This year, we present 5 awards in this category, along with 1 award in the Emerging Company category. And we are starting with the Emerging Company category. The award here goes to Gabify, Sahachi Hearing and Speech Solutions Private Limited, Delhi, an AI-enabled neurodevelopmental care platform making early screening for developmental delays affordable and accessible, having reached 3,000 children through a network of 1,283 therapists and over 50 therapy centers.
Hello everyone, my name is Sahil. I'm the founder and CEO of Gabify.life. Gabify is an AI-powered neurodevelopmental care solution solving 3 A's, which is awareness, accessibility, and affordability. Gabify started out of a personal loss of a friend, of a son, and we realized this was not just our story. Stories of millions of families struggling in silence, looking for answers, but the system was fragmented and broken. Hence the mission was born, Gabify. When we started Gabify, we thought of creating a screening tool, a tool which can identify the problem. But then we realized screening does not solve the problem. And that's where we introduced Connect, which is helping our experts who are doing the ground level work but don't get recognition and spending hours on doing paperwork which might be done in 20 seconds, and that's what Connect does. And that's why we exist. We help them to do things much quicker, much faster with the help of using artificial intelligence and our own proprietary data models on which we have trained the model. And Gabify is not just a startup, It's India's first validated startups by two government organizations, AIMS and ICMR. I'm really thankful to NCPEDP team and Mphasis for giving us an opportunity to receive this award, and really looking forward for more such outcomes and impact we can create together. Thank you so much.
And Preeti from Gabify to please come up on stage and take their award. Congratulations to Gabify once again. And this is the emerging company category in which the award was given. We will now proceed with the role model companies and organizations. And let me announce the first winner here, and that is NCERT New Delhi for embedding universal design for learning into national curricular resources, accessible EPUB and DAISY textbooks, Indian Sign Language content, an ISL dictionary of 15,000 words, and the Prashast screening app.
राष्ट्रीय शैक्षिक अनुसंधान और प्रशिक्षण परिषद राष्ट्रीय शिक्षा नीति 2020 के आलोक में अपनी महत्वपूर्ण डिजिटल पहलों के माध्यम से सुलभ व समावेशी शिक्षा की ओर कदम बढ़ाकर रोचक शिक्षा विशेष आवश्यकता वाले विद्यार्थियों तक पहुंचा रहा है। वर्ष 2021 में तैयार प्रिया द एक्सेसिबिलिटी वॉरियर कॉमिक बुक एक बच्ची प्रिया के माध्यम से सुगम्यता के व्यावहारिक उपायों को प्रस्तुत करती है। इसके QR कोड ऑडियो और भारतीय सांकेतिक भाषा यानी ISL में सामग्री तक पहुंच प्रदान करते हैं। ISL में शैक्षिक संसाधनों का निर्माण NCERT की महत्वपूर्ण प्राथमिकता है। इसमें कक्षा 1 से 6 तक की पाठ्य पुस्तकों पर आधारित वीडियो सामग्री, ISL शब्दकोश तथा सांकेतिक भाषा में राष्ट्रगान और शैक्षिक शब्दावली शामिल हैं। अब तक 15,000 से अधिक ISL संसाधन तैयार किए जा चुके हैं, जिन्हें दीक्षा, PM ई-विद्या, DTH और YouTube के माध्यम से विद्यार्थियों तक पहुंचाया जा रहा है। NCERT केवल डिजिटल प्लेटफॉर्म नहीं बना रहा, बल्कि हर बच्चे के लिए सीखने की नई संभावनाएं गढ़ रहा है। क्योंकि जब सीखना सरल और सुलभ होता है, तो हर बच्चा आगे बढ़ता है और समाज को नई दिशा देता है।
Professor Bharti Kaushik from NCERT is here with us this afternoon to receive the award. Congratulations to NCERT once again for bagging the award. Our next awardee in the category of role model companies and organizations is Unilever PLC, Bengaluru, Karnataka, for accessible QR code technology that allows blind and partially sighted consumers to identify and understand products independently, now scaled to 6.7 billion packs across 58 brands in 25 markets.
Hey everyone, my name's Mark and I'm the Global Accessibility Centre of Excellence Lead here at Unilever. Unilever are one of the largest suppliers of beauty and well-being, personal care, home care and foods products globally. Our vision is simple, and that's to make Unilever accessible for everyone across our technologies, our products and our experiences.
Making Unilever packaging accessible to everyone. Billions of people choose Unilever products every day. But for people who are blind or have low vision, simply reading the information on packaging can be a barrier. Unilever set out to change that. Unilever introduced accessible QR codes, a new global packaging standard. Developed with Zappa and guided by the Royal National Institute of Blind People, they're easier to find, easier to scan, and built for independence.
This work is massively impactful, and it's an area that we absolutely want to continue to lead. We are really proud to receive this award for universal design. It really shows that we're moving in the right direction, and there's so much more to be done. Thank you to everybody for your recognition. It means a lot.
And Ruturaj from Unilever PLC to accept the award in this category. Can we please extend a big round of applause to all our awardees? Congratulations to Unilever PLC. Let's now announce the name of our third awardee in this category, and that is Avaz, Chennai, Tamil Nadu, an augmentative and alternative communication application for non-speaking individuals reaching more than 111,000 users worldwide and implemented across all 36 districts of Tamil Nadu.
Hello, I'm Narayanan Ramakrishnan, CEO of Avaz. For nearly 2 decades, the team at Avaz has worked on one goal, ensuring that every person with a speech disability can communicate independently and participate fully in everyday life. Avaz AAC, our flagship product, is a picture and text-based communication app for people who cannot speak. But we learned early that technology alone is not enough. Families need support, professionals need training, school need implementation guidance, and broader society needs to understand and support the different ways people communicate. Our biggest challenge has been building world-class assistive technology products while keeping it affordable in India. Receiving the Mphasis Universal Design Award is a tremendous honor. It gives us a platform to show that disability innovation can create meaningful impact and remain sustainable. This recognition truly belongs to the Avaz team, our partners, educators, families, and most importantly, our users, who have shaped everything we do. Together, we are building a future where every voice is heard. Thank you.
To receive the award, Avaz, Chennai. Congratulations. Thank you so much, Mr. Narayanan Ramakrishnan, for joining us this afternoon. Our next awardee in the category is Saurabh Sagar Seva Sansthan, Ghaziabad, Uttar Pradesh, for providing high-quality modular processes and rehabilitation free of cost through Jeevan Asha Hospital, having fitted 3,996 artificial limbs and provided over 1 lakh OPD consultations.
दवा व दुआ का अद्भुत संगम। जीवन आशा 20 एकड़ के परिसर में बना जीवन आशा हॉस्पिटल दीन दुखियों की सहायता के लिए दिन प्रतिदिन नई सीढ़ियां चढ़ रहा है। हॉस्पिटल में आकर दुखियों की तो मानो तकदीर ही बदल जाती है। उनके अंदर जीने की एक नई आशा जाग जाती है। यहां आकर चाहे कोई दिव्यांग हो या बीमारी से ग्रसित इंसान, उनका मॉडर्न टेक्नोलॉजी से जब इलाज किया जाता है तो एक नया ही रंग उनके जीवन में बिखर जाता है। जीवन आशा पूरे भारत में एकमात्र एनजीओ है जो दिव्यांगों को मुफ्त में आर्टिफिशियल लिम्स तो दे ही रहा है, साथ ही अन्य एनजीओ की तरह कन्वेंशनल प्रोस्थेटिक ना इस्तेमाल करके हाईटेक प्रोस्थेटिक सॉल्यूशंस का यूज कर रहा है।
किसी भी प्रोस्थेसिस की फिटमेंट में 4 से 7 दिन का टाइम लगता है। उसके लिए जीवन आशा में एक वार्ड भी बना हुआ है जहाँ पे पेशेंट रुक के यहाँ पे आराम से उन एक्टिविटीज को दिन में ज्यादा से ज्यादा वक्त में ट्रेनिंग ले सके और ट्रेनिंग का आगे जाके फायदा उठा सके।
कुछ इसी तरह जीवन आशा में अन्य तरीके की प्रोस्थेटिक मॉड्यूलर टेक्निक से बनाया जाता है। इस हॉस्पिटल में मरीजों को मुफ्त में प्रोस्थेटिक दिए जाते हैं और उनकी गेट ट्रेनिंग का भी पूरा ध्यान रखा जाता है, जिससे वो अपनी रोजमर्रा की चीजें बिना किसी सहायता के कर पाएं।
Sonu Bhola from Saurabh Sagar Seva Sansthan is joining us this afternoon to receive the award in the category of Role Model Companies and Organizations. Can we please have this award on stage? Thank you so much, Sonu Bhola ji, for joining us this afternoon, and congratulations. Congratulations once again. So this was our 4th award in the Role Model Companies and Organizations category. And with that, we will announce our final winner in the category, and that is Jai Vakil Foundation, Mumbai, Maharashtra, India's first and largest organization working with children and adults with intellectual disability, whose Disha curriculum has trained 2,700 special educators and is now scaling nationally across 23 states and 2 union territories.
Hi, my name is Archana Chandra and I'm the CEO of Jai Vakil Foundation. Jai Vakil is one of the oldest and largest NGOs working with children and adults with intellectual disability. We were started in 1944, that is before India's independence. Today there are 3 engines that basically fuel the work that we do. The first one is our Centers of Excellence, where we have 3 campuses in Mumbai, Talegaon and Devlali. We have 750 students that we work with from the ages of 3 to 50. Our goal is inclusion for each one of them at a family, community and society level. And our 3 areas of intervention are healthcare, education and skill development. We believe inclusion only becomes real when the neurodivergent and neurotypical individuals learn, work and participate together in the same spaces. This is why recently, through our Inclusion Ke Sitare Awards, we celebrated people and organizations already making this possible so that their stories can inspire many more to do the same. On behalf of everyone at Jai Vakil, we're truly honored and grateful for this award today.
Now from Jai Vakil Foundation, who are here with us this afternoon to receive the award. Well, in fact, I'm going to request Ms. Archana Chandra, Chief Executive Officer at Jai Vakil Foundation, to please say a few words on behalf of this category.
Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of everyone in our category, I wanted to say a heartfelt thank you to the jury as well as to NCPEDP. Truly grateful and humbled. I was going through, the list of other winners in this category, and it ranged from business, education, to grassroots. And clearly everyone's mission is different. The way we show up in our work was different, as well as our answer to scale was different. But what struck me was that despite that, or in spite of that, there were some common threads that were connecting all of us. The first one being that I think each one of us, in our own way, had chosen to look beyond the people we were working with directly. Each one of us had created systems and not just services. And each one of us have chosen to partner and to collaborate to multiply impact. And that led me to believe that, all of us were striving for making inclusion everyone's responsibility. When I think about it, for me, inclusion is actually about drawing a big, wide circle, right? And including everyone in this circle who's either been left out or not counted. Making a circle where you're not looking at impact by just seeing what is it that we as individual organizations or people are doing, but really actually about inspiring others, enabling and empowering them to do more. So what is it, being a role model organization is? Definitely not one who has all the answers, but I think maybe showing what is possible, showing what is inclusion in a school, in a workplace, in the communities we live, and in society at large. And then motivating, inspiring, and garnering everyone to be a part of this journey. This award for me today is actually a recognition or a celebration of that shared belief. So delighted and grateful to be here today, and a big thank you again to NCPEDP, as well as to everyone here who's helping us draw the circle wider. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Archana Chandra, and congratulations to Jai Vakil Foundation for that award. With that, I'd also like to extend thanks to all our dignitaries on stage for joining us and giving away these awards. Shri Arvind Kapoor, Pradeep Gupta ji, Mr. Mayank Verma, Mr. Chetan Kapoor, and Dr. Anmol Ahluwalia. Can I request you to please join us in the audience now as we proceed further with the program? And with that, we would also like to acknowledge the presence of some other eminent personalities in the members of audience with us who have taken out time to join us this afternoon. Thank you very much, Dr. Ravinder Singh, scientist, ICMR, for joining us. Mr. Rohit Prasad, CEO of HelpAge India, Rajiv Raturi ji, and Shri Ramakrishnan, Secretary, Suniye School. Thank you all for joining us here this afternoon for the awards. Before we move ahead with the centerpiece of today's ceremony, which is a fireside chat, I'm going to invite once again on stage Ms. Debolina Kundu, Director of NIUA, to please come up and say a few words.
Namaskar. A very good afternoon to all of you. For those of you who may not know who we are, I represent the National Institute of Urban Affairs, the premier think tank of the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs, working in the space of urban development. We are in this space for the last 50 years, and we work on urban development, which specifically on urban development, but we look at the research component, knowledge exchange, as well as capacity building of officials across the country who work in this space. And it is really an honor and privilege and an eye-opener for me, a great inspiration for the entire community who is here, who has made things possible for I would say, the humanity at large. And I have been part of the jury, and what is particularly extremely powerful about this year's Universal Design Awards is the breadth of the work which has been recognized. The awardees demonstrate that accessibility is not just confined to ramps or assistive devices. It encompasses law and public policy, education, employment, healthcare, financial inclusion, digital access, communication, mobility, and also an eagerness to mainstream consumer products. 10 years after the RPWD Act, the important question is how do we translate the principles of equal rights into everyday systems and experiences. This year's awardees provide very different but equally very compelling examples of what that can translate into action and what it really looks like in practice. I would like to take this opportunity to thank once again the National Center for Promotion of Employment for Disabled People and Mphasis for really taking this initiative. And we at the National Institute of Urban Affairs, we really look forward to working with you, and we strive for universal accessibility in whatever we do and across different towns and cities of the country. And thank you once again.
Thank you, ma'am. Ladies and gentlemen, now we move to the fireside chat on financing the missing infrastructure, building India's assistive technology ecosystem. And this is essentially the centerpiece of this year's ceremony. Just to give context to what this chat is going to revolve around, India has the legal mandate, the innovation capacity, and the market potential to lead the world in affordable assistive technology. Yet, fewer than 1 in 10 people who need it can actually get it. So our next session brings together STPI, Mphasis, and NCPEDP to ask what it will take to move assistive technology from a one-time welfare handout to essential national infrastructure. For this, I'm going to invite on stage our moderator. Moderating the discussion is Mr. Pradeep Gupta, Chairperson NCPDEP and Chairman Cyber Media Group. Sir, if I can have you on stage with me, can we please extend a round of applause as we welcome Sir once again on the stage. For the session, he will be joined by Shri Arvind Kumar, Director General, Software Technology Parks of India, also our guest of honor this afternoon. Once again, sir, welcome to the stage. And Ms. Deepa Nagraj, Senior Vice President and Head, Sparkle Innovation Ecosystem and Communications Mphasis, will also be joining us for the fireside chat. With that, I hand over the stage to our moderator and our panelists.
Okay, so, building India's assistive technology ecosystem. So, I think that is what we are supposed to talk about in the next half an hour. But what really is the ecosystem right now, and what really ails the present ecosystem? So, I think when Piyush was talking about the IIT Delhi products that have come out, and he talked about the cane having sold in 15 different countries, and I think the number was 1 lakh pieces was the number that was talked about. The question that comes up is that, in India, if you look at the actual users for that sort of a technology, it would be 100 times that. Okay. And therefore, why is it that only 1% of the people who actually need a cane have not gone in for the cane. And I think the problem today with the entire ecosystem is that it is a subsidy-led model. What typically happens for any kind of an assistive device or any kind of an assistive service is that the beneficiaries are all looking at handout. Therefore, the two routes through which most of these products actually reach the beneficiaries is either through a CSR, which is done by various corporates. So somebody says, okay, fine, let me go ahead and give 200 wheelchairs to such and such area, or through various government schemes that come up. And in that government schemes, again, it is essentially the subsidy model which is comes up. And I think what needs to change on that is that we need to create a market-led ecosystem. So the ecosystem today is not really market-led, it is subsidy-led. And how do we transform this? So, let's spend the next few minutes in discussing this. Deepa, would you like to sort of, this background that I provided, would you like to add to the present model and how do you think it should evolve?
Thank you. And once again, congratulations to all the winners today. This is absolutely well-deserved, so congratulations. The assistive technology market, like I previously said, if it is about 10 billion by 2030, this includes a whole spectrum of different kinds of maybe plugins, devices, so on and so forth. While we take these for granted in urban scenarios, how do you kind of ensure that it reaches the last mile? How do you ensure that it reaches everybody? And also we're able to scale this, right? One of the things that we spoke about is while Mphasis as an organization has been supporting it for 16 years, the question that we asked was, so what? So what if we're supporting this for 16 years? What is coming out of this? Where are all these design elements? Where are all these structural changes being stored? If any of us are looking for a product, we go into marketplaces to look at that. Is there a marketplace that has been created for assistive technologies? The answer was no. There are smaller pockets, but it's not institutionalized, and it is not in one place where you can find that, both as a user as well as somebody who's developing that. Why would I have to reinvent the wheel when somebody has done that already? Is there a startup? Is there an upstart who's done that? And is there a larger organization who can help recreate or produce it at scale? Right? What is the IP around each of this? What are the usabilities for each of these? Right? These were fundamental questions that we went back and we asked. And from the whiteboard discussion, we realized that what we need today is an assistive technology hub that will bring all of this together in one place. Tomorrow we're celebrating 80 years of independence. What does 80 years of independence mean to people with disabilities? What does it mean for their family and friends? Are they truly independent? Is there something that technology can do to be the leveler? And if yes, how can we do that at scale? So that was a project that we've initiated. And I'd welcome all of you to look at the Assistive Technology Hub. And also once the physical center is there, experience it and talk about it. We don't want this to be the best kept secret. The more you're able to educate people, the more people are able to leverage this platform, we will be successful together as well.
So Arvindji, if you look at the startup ecosystem, and STPI has played a major role in developing the entire ecosystem there. I remember in the 90s when the first startups started coming up, At that time, there was no ecosystem. You know, there was, I think, one venture fund that used to be there. There were no angel investing. There were no mentors available. You know, there was no parental support that was available. And even the youngsters didn't want to actually start a ecosystem. But it has completely transformed itself in the next 30 years. And STPI has played a major role from, you know, I would say from in the last 15 years in this, this entire activity by creating Center of Excellences and so on. So my question is that how did the startup ecosystem get created, and what are the lessons that we can pick up when we talk about creating the ecosystem for the disability network?
Good, thank you, sir. So first of all, I think this is very wonderful program. With the award, we have discussion on such an important topic. So I'm amazed. I think NCPDP is doing one of the best work which can be done in this area. So first of all, I think this assistive technology, we have to understand why this assistive technology today is more talked about. There are 2-3 things. Number one, there is a big gap between need and access. You need more and more in terms of assistive technology devices or R&D on this subject, or even manufacturing on this subject. But we are perhaps very far behind what should we have done so far. But everything has its own time. Today we are thinking in terms of Viksit Bharat by 2047. If just we reached $33 trillion economy or 20,000 per capita income, it is not sufficient, it is not enough unless we are able to have inclusive growth, which means everybody become the part of this growth. I mean, so Viksit Bharat does not mean only numbers. Viksit Bharat means really what we can do in developing countries, which already been done by the developed countries. So really we want to develop countries, then we have to think what kind of the support, what kind of assistive technology they are providing to differently abled person. Every issue has right time. Today I think this AI, which we are supporting 26 center of entrepreneurship across the country on various domains. It could be AR, VR, it could be AI, it could be MedTech, which is on health tech, on so many, all technology we are supporting. Now assistive technology has become one of the very important domain out of them. Because now today we can do what we could not have done 5 years, 6 years back because of this artificial intelligence, which can give personalized devices to the differently abled person, which was not possible maybe 5 years back, 6 years back. And therefore, we have also thought that we should develop assistive technology hubs or center of entrepreneurship. In fact, we are planning one of the center at Prayagraj with help of IIIT and Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, which will be fully dedicated. NCPDP is an integral partner to that very initiative. Today, we can think, because every country, every person will have a different issues, and these issues should be solved by our startup ecosystem. We have such an innovative ecosystem in this country. You just tell the problem and there will be some startup who will be able to solve it. This should also be, this thing of India, our country, should also be utilized for the assistive technology. When we have the startup who is just a small guy, they have provided good solution. I think it was in Bhubaneswar, EP Bhubaneswar, and he has provided some good solution for marine surveillance, which he has got the order from the defense and all. So now we have good innovators in our country. Technology is also supported, is in the support of it. And I think this is the right time we should develop a larger ecosystem in terms of creating multiple center of entrepreneurship across the country, especially in tier 2, tier 3 cities, and do something so that it become, apart from gap between need and access, there is a big gap between cost also. So today, when we do assistive technology or we say something we want to, so it's just become like I am fulfilling one of the responsibilities. CSR, I will provide device to 20 people, I will provide device to 1,000 people, but who will maintain it? So unless this is somebody take a comprehensive view that it is not only responsibility, we have to create a big infrastructure to it. I think government can create the infrastructure. You can't expect private players to create the infrastructure. Like digital public infrastructure has been created. Those who were excluded from the banking systems, today those who are excluded from the technology. So then government has to take the initiative, should create a big infrastructure for this, and then private players can roll on it. They can ride on that. So there is a need to create a big infrastructure in terms of the technology for differently abled person, and then there multiple private players will come and they will ride on that. So to the duty, like government has created digital public infrastructure to include those who has been excluded so far in terms of banking, in terms of payment, in terms of biometrics, so many things. Now similar kind of the infrastructure is required to be created for this very issue, which is on assistive technologies.
Yeah, so, you said Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, that it should be all inclusive, the development which is there. You also said that today all the building blocks are in place, and it is important for the government to sort of create the infrastructure on which different innovation can ride, different initiatives can ride, and so on. It's absolutely great, and it's good to know about the Center of Excellence which is coming up at IIIT Prayagraj, and I hope that in the next 6 months, I think it should get operational. There has been discussion which has been going on, but it should get operational very, very quickly. But it's interesting that if you look at technologies, take a thing like Flipkart, right, or Amazon. Who should have been the biggest beneficiary of such technologies? The abled or the disabled? Okay. Unfortunately, they did not arise from a need coming from the disabled. They arose from a need coming from all of us, right? If you look at Blinkit, a 10-minute order or a grocery to be ordered for somebody who cannot actually go to a shop is a technology which should actually have stemmed from the needs of the disabled community, where it is not possible for, or it's a great help if their shopping can automatically be done at home. Unfortunately, that in reality has not happened. Of course, on disability assistive technology, what NCPEDP started doing with great support coming from Mphasis is that we started looking for startups, and we said, can we support them? And I was very pleasantly surprised when we did the first cohort. In that first cohort, we were really shocked when there were nearly about 100 applications that came, which means that there were 100 startups which actually wanted to do some solution for the disabled. And so we selected, I think 14 or 15 were selected in the first cohort. And so far, the total number of companies that have been supported is 40. So 40 companies have all been given provided a grant, and using that grant, they've developed their prototypes. Some of them have developed MVPs and so on. Glad to share with you that I think at least 10 to 15 companies from that group of 40 today have market-facing products. They've got MVPs that have come out of out of that entire initiative which was there. The fourth cohort has just now been taken, so I think more and more of that will come out as we proceed. And once a physical hub comes, then that automatically accelerates the entire thing, right? Deepa, would you like to add on the assistive technology activities that were taken up? You know, what was the thought behind it? And what really is, in terms of you are also a technology company, so how do you see assistive technology as a driving force?
Thank you. So instead of just calling it assistive technology, I'd probably call it inclusive technology. Right? As a technology service provider, one of the key things that we've always looked at is digital disability compliance. Right? We were born out of banking. Some of our large clients have been bankers, and we started building websites for them and then moved to apps, and now we're creating bots for them. Right? And while we're doing that, we said, can every single technology solution that we're providing be accessible for people with disabilities, be it digital disability, whatever else. Every single communication that goes out from Mphasis, be it email communication or whatever, if there is an image, you will always have mouse over for text and of course for audio, right? How do you ensure this becomes part of your everyday? How do you ensure that this becomes part of your business strategy? Our hiring strategy as well, right? Includes people with disabilities. And we're not just looking at it as a quota system or any of that, but how can this be inclusive, right? And I think it's not just us who are doing this, right? And it's not just social startups who are doing it. So the 40 startups that Pradeep spoke about are not social startups alone. They could be for-profit as well, but they need that extra leg or that little firepower to be able to scale, right? Today in the audience, you'll see some of them as well, right? So Ankit's here from iSTEM. There is the Asman Foundation. I'm just calling him out because I saw him in the audience. They have a for-profit and not-for-profit arm. What they do is career counseling and educational counseling for tier 2, tier 3 students. Otherwise, typically, if you're in India and they started in Uttar Pradesh, right? It says, "Beta, aapko kya banna hai?" They'll say doctor ya engineer. So public servant. They don't know there are options beyond that. And then the question that we ask them is, what are you doing for children with disabilities? How do you ensure they get to a different place? Right? It says, how can you make that part of your profit and not for profit arm? So we said, can iSTEM then look at including children with disabilities into their entire career counseling program? We have Lali here from USISPF. So they manage something called the Friends of US in India. The reason why I'm specifically calling that out is any work that you do is not ring-fenced within borders. While CSR funds can be disseminated in India, like the law says, but in the time and age of AI, like you said, there are no borders. Technology is the only thing that can permeate and can be borderless. So if you have US organizations or Indian organizations, and like I mentioned in the past, if there's US technology that can be leveraged in India, why not? Why reinvent that? And we have folks from Gutenberg who are going to tell this story in various different forums and various different geographies, right? We're trying to bring friends and partners together so that they're able to bring in technology where it is needed, not as an afterthought, not as CSR, but as a key business strategy to keep us all going, right? And Assistive Technology Hub is a great start, but it's a start, like we said, it's a journey well begun, and the destination is far from where we are.
So thank you on that. So, now coming to the infrastructure, let's look at two aspects of the purple economy, right? To develop that, one very important thing is that a marketplace should get created. and the other one is financing. So I'll come to financing later in the next round. But let's talk about the marketplace to be created. Now, for instance, the government of India created the GEMS platform, right? Can there be similar platforms that can be created so that disabled products are available in one place, or people have information about them, and and can be then supported and bought?
I think it's a very good idea. We don't have any exclusive marketplace for such products. If it is created, I think it will be very helpful to anybody who is differently abled. They can not only that they get the product, but how to get it maintained, how to get it repair, how to get a new version of that product. I think this will be very helpful. I think the main thing is that there is a question of mindset. I mean, some mindset has to be changed, that we have to do something. It's not that it's my responsibility, corporate social responsibility, or I'm doing just for the sake of formality, that I have to do it, I have to show to society. I mean, we have to cross that threshold. I recall, I think, when I came this is a little different, but when I came, there were more than 50 vacancies, which is reserved for PH, was not fulfilled never. Always keep no suitable candidate found type. And I did 3-4 times recruitment. I think today there may be 1 or 2 vacancies only. So out of 50, maybe 48, I have done it. And I got, this is my experience, personal experience, that I got very good candidate. And one of the candidate, he came from this category. And when I was making head of our Prayagraj center, the BD says, sir, he came from that category. When I say I want to make, sir, he came from that PH category. I said, what kind of the PH he has? He says, sir, he is visually handicapped. He came from under BH. I said, so what? What he needs? Is in a bigger screen? Instead of having the small screen of 29 inches, you have the bigger screen. Then he can do everything. I think this is one of the center, which is Prayagraj center is doing best. Before that, it was neither fully occupied, nor it was getting the revenue. Now it is fully occupied. Everything, because they think that I have to perform better than what every other person is doing. So you can make use of it. They are more creative. So when you take on the board, they become the part of the mainstream. They become the part of your AT hub. They are more empathetic about that we have to do something for our own people. So this mindset in the society is required to be changed. AT hub is not only support the assistive technology for them, but they should also support, if somebody wants to do some innovation of that category, they should be given some different preference also. Unless we get that mindset that has to be changed in everybody's mind, I mean, it's difficult to reach the situation where we want to reach, the target we have fixed. But it is required, it's very much required, today's need of time, that we should change our mindset and we should create a system where everybody is inclusive growth, everybody is treated equally. I mean, that is the need of hour.
So coming to financing, and I think financing is a very, very important topic which is there. And let me start with you this time. We did 2 roundtables, one in Bangalore and one in the STPI office. And we had called a number of VCs, and the first cohort that we had taken, some of those companies actually presented their products also. Now, one of the issues that came from the VCs was that, we are ultimately responsible for our investors, the LPs, who have put in the money in a fund, right? And to them, we have to give them maximum returns. And as far as disability is concerned, we don't think we can have the same sort of returns that are possible with other businesses. And therefore, very little amount of VC money actually comes into the assistive technology startups. How can we change this? I think this is one question which is very, very important. Can there be blended finance, which means that if there is financing which is available, which is part grant, part equity, if those sort of combinations of debts and equity and when such like instruments are there, then automatically what it means is that the return for somebody putting in money in equity becomes better, right? They end up de-risking their business. So your views on what could be the innovative ways of financing this entire sector?
So I again back to our first conversation when I say infrastructure and riding on it. I mean, unless if you expect private finance people, VCs, angel investor, that they will create infrastructure, then I think it will never happen. Government creates roads, then car was running on that. They will be able to see return because, of course, they need return, as you said. That if I am BC, I expect return only, whether you are putting that money in assistive technology or you are putting that money in AI or you are putting in BRR, I don't care. I just need return. So therefore, that means we have to reach a situation where assistive technology can also give the similar return, which is from other technologies also. That means if government create one level of infrastructure from the public funding and over and above private fund comes. If we can create this kind of the either maybe in terms of viability gap funding or maybe PPP model or maybe some other financing model, and for that government should also create, today we have silos of the various ministries. Ministry of Social Justice is doing something else, Telecom is doing something for else. So I think if we can create some policy across the country, I mean, which is cutting across the various ministries, and policies like more on evidence-based policy making, which I say, then perhaps we can get funding from the many sources of the government, and private players also will take interest either in terms of viability gap funding or they may come also with the PPP model for that sake. Right.
So Deepa, what is the sort of from a corporate viewpoint, what do you think is the kind of a infrastructure, a government infrastructure that you think is necessary for private sector to get activated and large amount of money could possibly start coming in? So this is a generic question, not specific to Mphasis.
Sure. Yeah. So I think the scale of this challenge is also quite humongous. I don't think it is just the private sector or the government sector or anybody else trying to solve for this. Everybody has to do their bit, right from grassroots education to access to public spaces. And some of the things that we're working on as an organization is also inclusive finance, inclusive options for people living at the bottom of the pyramid or disabilities to be able to make financial decisions and choices. So it's there in various different levels. The systemic change, the policy change, all of that cannot be done by just one person, right? We have Anu here from National College of Ireland who's been working on something with Citibank called the Dragon Challenge, right? Which is to solve for issues that may be there in Europe for Citibank as an organization or they think is an opportunity. And it's a great example of how students, the community, the tech sector, as well as a bank have come together to be able to solve for something. It could be for-profit, not-for-profit. It could be an incubator setup. Bringing in incubators or bringing in startups or bringing in crowdsourcing solutions for challenges, I think is a great way to be able to leapfrog and accelerate this journey rather than trying to solve everything yourself. Likewise, even the funding doesn't have to be siloed, right? Every penny counts. Most importantly, even people's support to be able to come together and do this. It doesn't really have to be just monetary. If there's a technology, can we have a pilot batch of 100 people who can test that? Can you implement that somewhere else and know that it is good for the market before you're able to scale? Right? So funding, while is one part of it, structurally, the other part is also people coming together to make that successful. There are lots of financial service organizations, there are private equity players, banks, everybody else who may want to fund it if they see
that there is a profit at the end of the road. And I think with the scale and the size of the problem, there is going to be returns. They just have to see the roadmap to that.
So I'm told that our time is up. So, let me just conclude. You talked about evidence-based research, and therefore what we did was that NCPEDP instituted a study on the entire, what needs to be done in terms of financing this missing infrastructure. And as a result of that, we have come out with a white paper, and we have submitted this particular white paper. Some of the suggestions that have come out from that is also the creation of a fund of funds. Fund of funds have been very, very instrumental in directing startups in a specific direction. So I think that is also something that can be done. We will take all these recommendations to the government and look forward to support from the esteemed panel here. Thank you very much for an absolutely wonderful discussion on the purple economy, and we definitely hope that not 30 years from today, as I was saying about the startup ecosystem, but perhaps 10 years from today, when we are again sitting here, we will say that yes, an ecosystem for assistive technology exists in this country. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for an insightful discussion. I'm going to request all of you to stay with us, and before that, we would like to extend a little token of appreciation to Shri Arvind Kumarji, and I'll request Mr. Pradeep Gupta, Chairperson NCPEDP, to please extend a planter to Shri Arvind Kumar, Director General, Software Technology Parks of India. Thank you so much, sir. And I'm going to request all three of you, Mr. Pradeep Gupta, Shri Arvind Kumarji, Ms. Deepa Nagraj, to stay with us as, sir, you can keep it there on the table. Because, we are moving towards the most significant recognition of the day, which is the Javed Abidi Public Policy Award, instituted in memory of a leader whose work shaped the disability rights movement in India and without whom much of the legislation we mark this year would not exist in the form it does. So before I announce who is the awardee for the Javed Abidi Public Policy Award this year, I would request some other dignitaries as well to join us on the stage, along with the three sitting here with us. Can I please request Mr. Ravinder Singh, Mr. Sunil Pehlajani, A.S. Narayanan and Mr. Arman Ali to please join us on the stage along with our current dignitaries as we will announce the name of the awardee as soon as you are here with us. Please. Thank you so much. Ravinder Singh ji. And Arman sir has told me that Akshay also needs to be invited on stage for this one. So Akshay, please, if you can also come up. I'm just going to once again request all our dignitaries. Sunil sir, A.S. Narayanan, Mr. Arman Ali, Akshay and Ravinder Singh ji, please join Ms. Deepa, Mr. Pradeep Gupta and Mr. Arvind Kumar for giving away this award. And as our dignitaries join us on stage, let me announce the winner. The award is presented to Dr. Shruti Mohapatra, Bhubaneswar, Odisha, founder and chief executive of Swabhiman, Odisha's first cross-disability resource center, whose advocacy shaped the Bhima Bhoi scheme, now operating across 314 blocks, and who serves on the National Committee on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities.
Namaskar. I am Dr. Shruti Mahapatra and I head a non-profit Swabhiman, the first cross-disability organization in Eastern India. Swabhiman empowers persons with disability through education, employment, awareness, advocacy, research, and networking. It has been actively involved with National Disability Network and has strengthened the legal and policy environment of India from the 1995 Act to the 2016 rights-based law. It has brought visibility to this invisible population through the census campaign, accessible elections, and right to vote. Some of its education models have been replicated across the state of Odisha in all 314 blocks and continue today as PM Shri resource centers.
Please welcome on stage Dr. Shruti Mohapatra, Executive Director, Swabhiman, to kindly receive the award. Congratulations, ma'am, for your hard work. Can we please extend a big round of applause? This is the Javed Abadi Public Policy Award given to Dr. Shruti Mohapatra for this year. Congratulations, ma'am. I'll request all our guests to please come closer for a photo. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Dr. Shruti Mohapatra, can you please say a few words?
Thank you so much. Esteemed members on the dais, Arman and his beautiful team at NCPEDP, and all the distinguished guests here, I bow to the divinity in all of you. I accept this honor with deep joy and a lot of nostalgia. Memories of Javed flood me. Javed was a force to reckon with, a passionate man with a missionary zeal. We did not see eye to eye on everything. Our approach to the goal was the same, but our approach was different. He wanted to change things at the top. I felt it was more important to work at the grassroots, develop people's collective voice so they can demand what they wanted. But and that is how a lot of changes happened. Long before an Accessible India campaign, we had Ravenshaw University 100% accessible with the support of rupees 2 crores from Government of India. Same also, even before inclusive education would sink into us, 10 schools in Bhubaneswar opened their doors to students with disabilities. But it was at the Colombo conference that sitting next to me, Javed said, Shruti, you're empowering one individual with scholarship, with support, one family, one university. But you think about it, policy change and legal changes. In a minute, you are impacting thousands and millions. I remember his words. He said, accessibility is not charity. Inclusion is not benevolence. And rights are something you cannot politely ask for. You have to claim the rights, and systems need to change. With this, a number of changes happened. From zero laws in India, that's where we started. From zero laws, today India stands strong with 4 strong laws, 1 international convention. And if you include the right to information and right to education amended Act of 2012, that is 6 strong laws in India. We have strong policies, But what is happening? If you look at the Niti Aayog report, if you look at the WHO report of disability and development, you look at the GEMS report, you look at the UNESCO education report, everywhere we are far below than the targets in literacy, education, employment, assistive devices. Why? I feel this gap is there in India because who is implementing it at the end of it? These are the same people with the same attitudes. So I personally feel what we should be doing right now is create awareness, more of awareness. Without awareness, without universal designing, and without accessibility, we cannot bring people with disabilities to the center of development. We will always remain an afterthought. What we have to do is take the message. When the last person in the last village of India knows what is the law, knows what are the schemes available, knows where he can go to, believe me, he or she will carve out their own destiny. It's only then India can become a $1 trillion economy. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Shruti Mohapatra, and congratulations once again. With that, I'd like to thank all our dignitaries on the stage for giving away the award and, of course, joining us this afternoon and taking out time. Now, to conclude the proceedings for the day, I invite Mr. Pradeep Gupta, Chairperson, NCPEDP, to please deliver the concluding remarks.
So I've said enough today, so, I'll keep it extremely short. So thank you very much for all of you present here today. My personal congratulations to all the winners. You people have really made a change, you moved the needle, and that is what is required in this entire sector. So thank you very much for being here with us today. I would like to thank the media who's present there and would be covering this entire event. We hope that this message of disability is spread far and wide. And of course, on social media, I would expect all of you, I think today, all of you are media persons, right? Everybody posts, everybody goes on LinkedIn and so on, and therefore, or Instagram and so on. So please do that. And I think this word should reach out there to billions of people. Thank you very much for today's award ceremony. And, 14th August today, so Jai Hind to all of you.
Thank you, Mr. Gupta. With that, ladies and gentlemen, one final request. All our awardees and our guest of honor and other dignitaries, can you please join us on stage for a group photograph? I'm so sorry to trouble you with this. If you all can join us on the stage for a group photograph, all the awardees, along with Mr. Manikantan T, Mr. Mayank Verma, Mr. Vijay Kumar V, and Shri Arvind Kumar ji is already there, Pradeep Gupta sir, Deepa Nagraj ma'am, A.S. Narayanan, Arman Ali sir, all of you, please join us on the stage along with the awardees for a big group photograph. Mic on kar dijiye.
Yes, thank you so much. Preeti, I'll just take a couple of minutes from you. While everybody gathers on the stage, I would like to mention my team, my team at NCPEDP, each one of you. So I would request all of you to please clap for them for this last hard work of the last 6 months they have put together. I would also request all my teams to join the stage for this picture. And I would request Meenu, Darshi, Rita to also join us here on the stage, please. All the awardees, am I blocking the way? Yes. the sign language interpreter. We cannot thank you enough for doing what you do. So everybody's here, Asifa? Yeah. Can I also request, please, sir, join us on the stage.
All the team of NCPEDP,
Everybody, please.
everyone, please join us on stage along with the
Dinesh,
awardees.
Rajesh, Mukti, all the interns. अक्षय आ जाइए सब कोई प्लीज.